Hello and welcome back to another video on the JJ Think Tank. In this one I want to talk about Democracy in America by Tocqueville, Volume 1. So I read the whole book, and this copy that I have here I think includes both volumes. And so far I've only managed to write one article about this book, and this article contains information from the first section from volume 1. I didn't get round to writing a second article about volume 2. Perhaps I'll do so soon, but this article contains enough information to make a video out of it. Yes, so yes, I think this is a relevant topic, a pertinent topic, because a lot is changing in America. America's influence is waning. We don't know in what direction America will go in the forthcoming years. Will America still survive as a nation, as one concrete block? Will there be a civil war? Who knows? I mean, like everywhere, I guess there's a divide taking place. Yes, between the liberals and the conservatives. And I know a lot about America because I listened to AJ for a while, Lord Voldemort, he who cannot be named. I followed his broadcasts. I listened to him around the years when Trump first got into power, or just before Trump got into power for the first time. So I listened to AJ for, between the years of 2015 and perhaps 2019, maybe 2020. In bursts, obviously. There were periods of time when I didn't really listen to him, but then I did, yes, and I consumed more of his content. I think I started to reduce my consumption of AJ and his information around COVID time. So in 2020, when COVID appeared on the scene, this is when I started to stop listening to AJ in general. But yes, why am I talking about AJ? Well, because I think he AJ, he does represent the American spirit. He's got a red American Texan. He loves freedom. Always talks about 1776, about why there needs to be a new revolution in America. This time, perhaps a revolution of the mind. Yes, and I mean, I love a lot of aspects of American culture. I like a lot of things about America. Yes, I like what America represents. This pragmatism, this progress, and I don't think this is a cliche. Really, a lot of people talk about progress. But I think America, this country, it does provide a lot of progress to the world. America is the center of a lot of innovation when it comes to science. I mean, America and American citizens, they have been inculcated with a spirit of entrepreneurism and in general a love for freedom and liberty. So obviously, on one hand, this is what I cherish about America, and how America was able to create a political system that really did increase the level of liberty for the average man. What's the famous motto? The pursuit of liberty freedom and happiness, or life, liberty, and happiness. What's the motto? American motto: the pursuit. It establishes the right to seek fulfillment, liberty, and personal well-being without unjust governmental interference. I mean, it's hard to disagree with this. When the government gets too strong and starts to interfere too much in the lives of people, then we start to enter tyranny. Yes. So from the philosophical standpoint, and previously in history, America definitely did represent this idea. But now this might change. I mean, hopefully America changes its course and is able to remain American. But things are looking shaky at the moment, definitely. I mean, what I've heard is that in these liberal cities, a lot of people are starting to leave because things are getting bad over there. There's there are problems with crime, with homelessness, with drugs. I guess problems with employment, economic problems in general. So yeah, I mean, things are not looking too rosy in all the parts of America. Well, then there are other states that are completely different in their mentality, and they try to block this liberal virus that is spreading. Yes, so I guess Texas comes to mind. Texas is a state that tries to block this liberal virus. I mean, Florida perhaps as well. The state of Florida with Ron DeSantis. Miami comes to mind. Miami comes to mind. So yes, I mean, I've only been to New York. I really liked my holiday there. I was there only for a week. I remember with my family and a couple of my sister's friends, I think, were there as well. And yes, I really like New York, especially Manhattan and Central Park was beautiful. I like how how in New York you have this concrete jungle and then suddenly Central Park appears. A rectangular area of greenery, and then everywhere around this place of greenery you have this concrete jungle. So yes, I like to look at this image, but yeah, I did feel the tension in New York when I was there. Definitely, a lot of the people, they weren't too pleasant. I guess the same is the case in all the major mega cities because everyone's rushing around, hustling, trying to get money. So yes, you feel this negative energy. But I felt it a bit more in New York, to be honest. The people were a bit more kind of rude and just stressed out. This was a bit unpleasant. But anyway, yes, I've gone on a bit of a tangent. I think it's relevant because we're talking about America, yes, democracy in America, and no, for all this talk about democracy, many people argue that we don't even live in a democracy. That a democracy is only possible in small city states or in small countries like Switzerland. Once you try to introduce democracy onto a country that is larger, geographically speaking, then it's not really possible. But I think before I had this view that democracy, that the Western cultural commentary that, oh, we are living in a democracy, we are living in a democracy, yes, we need to protect this. Before, in the past, I had a very skeptical view about this. I thought this is nonsense. We're not really living in a democracy where the democracy is run by oligarchs in the background, by the banks, etc. And I still hold on to this view. I don't think we live in a real democracy. But nonetheless, in the West, there are these checks and balances. I think this is true. The West has still preserved, well, the Western civilization has still preserved these checks and balances. Yes, and in general, I think it is the case that in recent history, man has been most free in Western civilization. Western civilization was able to generate the most liberty for the individual. So I think overall this statement is true, and this was especially the case in, I guess, in England, in America. We could argue in the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, but this was much earlier, obviously. This was the first experiment in democracy, actually, one of the first experiments in democracy. Yes, which took place in the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. France obviously comes to mind as well. French Revolution, liberty, fraternity, egalitariety. I think. What's the French expression? Liberty. But yes, equality. But in French, how do you say it? Liberté, égalité, fraternité. Okay, I've probably butchered those French words. Apologies. Yes. So, I mean, I still think we should strive to fight to maintain some semblance of democracy in the West, yes, and in general. Even though we know kind of that ultimately the power rests with the banks, with the multinational corporations, these institutions, etc. But I mean, there are some institutions that still protect the individual. So when we think of law and order, yes, every person has a right to a fair trial, for example. This doesn't appear everywhere in the world, I think. So anyway, moving on. Let's get into my article now, and let's talk about the book itself, because yes, we're wasting time here. 13 minutes already. So yes, I began my article with these quotes. Yes, in my opinion, all the reasons which tend to maintain a democratic republic in the United States fall into three categories. The first is the peculiar and accidental position in which Providence has placed the Americans. Yes, definitely. America as a country, it's a unique country. It's a new country. It's a fresh country. A relatively young country, which was only established in 1776. So definitely, this is why history is important. Yes, because America appeared so recently, its mentality is completely different. Yes, the mentality of the Americans, etc. The second comes from their laws. Yes, definitely true, I think. And the third derives from their usages and customs. So we'll go into this a bit more later on. But now I'd like to read the two other brilliant quotes. I love these quotes. And this is from AJ when he confronted Piers Morgan on I think CNN or BBC News. I can't remember exactly. But I love the passion of AJ. And I agree with him here. He's right. Hitler took the guns. Joseph Stalin took the guns. Mao took the guns. Fidel Castro took the guns. Hugo Chavez took the guns. And I'm here to tell you, 1776 will commence again if you try to take our firearms. Overall, I'm in favour of citizens having firearms. This is a bulwark against government totalitarianism, because look what happened. When Hitler took the guns, Stalin took the guns, Mao, tyranny appeared, communism, all these dangerous systems, these horrible systems that enslave people. When the average citizen has a gun, he can protect himself, yes, from these governmental forces, yes. So it's not the gun that kills people; it's the mind, yes. So we can think of England. Okay, England doesn't have guns, yes. No one is allowed to have a gun in England, but people still kill themselves, still kill each other with knives. Yes, there's a lot of knife crime in London. So it's not about the object. Yes, it's about the brain, the mentality, the mind. So and a lot of the shooters in school shooters, etc. in America, all these crazy lunatics, uh, they shoot people because they have psychological problems. Yes, they took dangerous SSRIs, dangerous drugs, and this causes them to use these guns to kill innocent people. Yes, so the gun is not a problem. It's not about the guns. Yes, it's about who uses it. Yes. So and this problem can be solved by yes introducing some control. If people if people are a bit dodgy, then they shouldn't be allowed to have a gun. Yes, definitely. And then the last one is Thomas Jefferson. Rebellion to tyrants is obedience to God. Wow. Oh, what a quote that is. I love this quote. Rebellion to tyrants is obedience to God. I remember this was the motto of AJ's organisation when InfoWars, yes. It was like a trailer, and then in the background, someone in a deep voice was saying, "Rebellion to tyrants is obedience to God." Yeah, I always remember this quote. We don't want the tyrants to take over, because then all of us suffer. We will all suffer at the hands of these corrupt governmental minions. All these minions that work for the government. So yes, now let's talk about my article itself. Yes, I want to share what I wrote down here. And before, from my vantage point, when I looked at America, I always saw a rather crude, materialistic country. So I had this view definitely, yes, 10 years ago, maybe a bit longer. I kind of viewed America as a country with no real deepness or history, but I guess with the passage of time, this view has changed. Yes, I have a lot more respect for the country, its achievements, what it represents, and what it represent. Well, I wrote here what it represented, because currently America, it's not being America anymore. We want the real America back. Yes, I mean I think Trump is restoring this partially. I kind of have a love-hate relationship when it comes to Trump. I think he's done a lot of good things. I think, especially in his first term between the years of 2016 and 2020. I think he did a lot of good. To be honest, he broke up the globalist establishment. He was an agent of chaos, and by his chaotic actions, he initiated the process of building a multipolar world, and I'm in favor of this, definitely. And then, okay, in 2020, personally, I think the election was stolen. Trump was on course to win, but then suddenly, all these votes from these postal votes. And a lot of them were kind of fraudulent postal votes based on people who didn't exist. Yes, because of this, Biden suddenly his the amount of votes he got went up, and that's why he won. Yes, I think this election was stolen. Yes, but yes, and then Trump has won recently. So obviously now Trump is serving his second term. And I don't know. I don't support Trump as much as before. Look what happened recently in Palestine. Trump was involved there. Did Trump pardon Assange? He didn't really. I don't think he did. There's a lot of things Trump hasn't done, and we could make the argument that Trump is introducing this AI government because he's getting rid of all the bureaucrats, the human bureaucrats, and replacing them with AI. And in general, there's an AI revolution taking place. I think this has to happen because technological progress has to be accepted, whether we like it or not. In the past, people also rebelled against new technology, but in the end, things actually worked out. Yes, so perhaps the same will be the case with AI. We don't know yet. We'll see what will happen. I don't know. I don't want. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, it's the end of humanity, so we're going to be enslaved." I don't know. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. I guess. So. So yes, that's that about Trump. Will Trump in the remaining years of his second term surprise us? Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But anyway, going back to my article, America and the American people this country and yes, her people, they have really achieved a level of freedom and material prosperity not found anywhere else in human history. This is true. This is something unprecedented, I think, overall. Many thinkers might argue that this is based on exploitation, based on the American empire that exploited its colonies. I guess this is true to a degree, but also I think the American system, yes, the American form of government also enables this freedom and material prosperity to rise. So we can't just simplify things to exploitation or whatever. So I mean, I do have obviously my criticisms of the American empire. The American empire was definitely too aggressive in recent history, causing all of these wars. America struggles with diplomacy. America is too arrogant sometimes, too prideful. And this is expressed in the people of America. A lot of Americans, they are prideful. They think they know more than everyone else. A lot of people notice this. Arrogant, aren't they? So yes. And this is why I read the book by Tocqueville. I wanted to understand more why is America so special in this regard. And I wanted to discover more about the country. So now I'll share the juicy nuggets, yes, that I found in the book. And the first significant development that provided the basis for America to eventually flourish is the way in which it allowed the principle of subsidiarity, to take hold, not just in theory but in practice. So subsidiarity is the idea that government should be devolved, yes, to the lowest level possible. And this really functions well in America. You've got all these different states, federal government, etc. And this allows for power to be shared. And obviously America has established all these various institutions that facilitate this process. And then the next two features that allowed for America's rise are the federal constitution and the judicial power that upheld this constitution and prevented the rise of a tyrannical political assembly that could enforce centralization. So this is key. I hear this a lot from many thinkers. Decentralization. This is definitely important. In all domains. In the financial domain, we need to decentralize. In the political domain, we need to decentralize, etc. Yes, and yes, this process of decentralization allowed for greater power in the federal government at the expense of an individual state government. So obviously, America is made up of different states, yes, and one state cannot dictate what will happen in the rest of the country. This process was, I guess, a long, intricate, slow, and complex, process. But in general, it established that idea of sharing sovereignty. This is important, sharing sovereignty. Europe is not good at this. This is why Europe it always breaks down because, because of Germany. Really, I think Germany wants to dominate too much. This is why, I think the EU is trying to build such a model in Europe based on what America done in the past, but I don't think it will work because I guess the main reason is language. There's a language barrier. In America, everyone speaks English there, yes, but in Europe, there's the different languages, different countries, and that's why I don't think this EU, they see the whole EU structure will break down soon, and I view this as a good process. The EU is just a tool now for German domination, and it's bound to collapse again. The German Empire is bound to collapse. So yes, I guess what I said just now in general in this paragraph relates to my previous point about subsidiarity or localism. Yeah, we want more regionalism and localism. We don't want globalism, definitely. And yeah, I guess another key. This is more of a historical fact, but America, in its history, it never really was involved in a war. I guess an internal civil war, or a war with another country that cost the country its economic foundation. So America was isolated from the continent of Europe, obviously due to the massive Atlantic Ocean. America is protected from both sides by oceans. This really helps as well. And because America is surrounded by oceans, by default it becomes a sea empire, an empire based on sea, on trade, and this builds wealth, undoubtedly. If a country is landlocked, it can't really develop its economic position. So yes. And finally, the final important point raised by Tocqueville is his discussion of customs. So what is a custom? This is a word not used that often. We usually talk about values, but here Tocqueville talks about customs. I don't know. Are customs and values the same thing? Is this the same thing? But let me share what Tocqueville said. And he argued that without shared customs, a democratic society cannot last long. And I checked the definition of custom online when I was writing this, and this is what I found. A custom is a widely accepted traditional way of behaving or doing something that is unique to a specific society, location, or time. And then applied to the USA, it can be said that equality and liberty were in its genes since the immigrants all started out as equals and were free to claim the land for themselves. And explains the work hard for yourself mentality of Americans, especially in the North and Northwest. So this information, these two ideas here were from myself, but also from the book. Tocqueville alluded to this, that because America is actually probably the only country that can be defined as being a nation of immigrants, definitely, more so than other countries. Now, obviously, this can't be then skewed to argue that America always has to accept immigrants. Obviously not. I'm not arguing for this. Of course, I'm not arguing for this. But this immigrants, you know, America is a nation of immigrants. It is. But the first immigrants were mainly Europeans. But also, I guess, some Latin Americans, but mainly Europeans. And because everyone started off from scratch, I guess this generated this this individualism, this healthy form of competition. And this, I think, this is what makes America special, or what made it special. Let's see what happens in the future. So with this in mind, Tocqueville neatly sums up the mentality of the Americans. This is what he wrote. This civilization is the result, and this is something we must always bear in mind, of two quite distinct ingredients which anywhere else have often ended in war, but which Americans have succeeded somehow to meld together in wondrous harmony, namely the spirit of religion and the spirit of liberty. The founders of New England were both sectarian fanatics and noble innovators. That's a really interesting idea by Tocqueville. Because yes, in Europe, we can see so many religious wars in the past. Yes, I mean Europe was constantly embroiled in a religious war. For example, Protestants between Catholics, then I guess Catholics against Orthodox Christians. We can think of Poland's rivalry with Russia, but in America, the citizens, they didn't allow for this fanaticism to change into a war. They channeled this in the right way to innovate, I guess, to become noble innovators. So in America, we have this spirit of religion and the spirit of liberty working together at the same time. I think this is true. Definitely, this is true. So now coming to an end. This has been a bit of a long video, 32 minutes, but yes. I think it's a very important topic. So, at the beginning, I said, yes, that America is no longer living up to the American dream. So yes. I forgot to mention this before, American dream. This is what I had in mind. So, American dream of becoming wealthy, free and happy, yes. Tony Robbins represents this, doesn't he? The American dream. And I guess that there's one reason why. I think America is experiencing and undergoing the effects of the iron law of oligarchy. And this is initially noticed by Aristotle, but recently reformulated by Robert Michels. And this iron law of oligarchy states that democracies, like all large organizations, tend to turn into oligarchies as they start to expand and become more complex. And so, according to the iron law, democracy and large-scale organization are incompatible. Perhaps, yeah, well, is this an iron law? I guess so. I mean, worldwide, this is taking place. There's a merge taking place between governments and multinational corporations. This is the new tyrannical entity that we need to fight against. We need to break this entity up. We need to reduce the power of these state corporate models. And this is why perhaps in America there might be a civil war or a secession. So some states might try to assert their sovereignty in order to escape the grip of this massive corporate government structure. We'll see, I guess. So I'd like to visit America again. Hopefully one day. It'll be great to see other places in America. I mean, America is such a diverse country. There's so many different regions, different climatic regions. So many beautiful places to visit. We've got the East Coast, which is more tropical, California. Then we've got the West Coast, which is more European in style, I think. New York comes to mind, obviously. Yes, so yes, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bit of a long one, but I really enjoyed talking about this. America, about Tocqueville. I enjoyed talking about this topic. But yes, that's the end of the video. If you're still listening, I appreciate it. You could have spent your time elsewhere, but you decided to hang around, stick around, and listen to my ramblings on the JJ Think Tank. If you like the video, consider liking and subscribing. It will help me grow the channel. If you are a new viewer, consider subscribing. It will help me grow this channel and spread more vital information. I think will help a lot of people out there. And yes, that's the end of the video. Once again, thank you for listening, and I wish you all the best. Take care.